Welcome back to my channel, Linda's daughter Donna. I want to encourage you that if you have a part-time job right now, if you get an allowance, it's not too early to start saving for your future. When it comes to living arrangements, a lot of high school students, once they graduate from high school, they want to go out on their own. And then those who go off to college, they don't necessarily want to go back home with their parents after they graduate. And even if they go back home, they just want to stay at home for a short while because everybody is seeking some form of independence or freedom. It is always better, in my opinion, to own than to rent. And this is the reason why I say start saving now. It's not easy to come by the down payment on a house, probably the house of your dreams. And I would even encourage you, as a single person, don't really start thinking about the house of your dreams. Think about a starter home, especially if you are single with no children. Don't try to bite off more than you can chew. There is no reason to take on a mortgage that's going to be significantly higher than you can really afford. Very often with the right credit, banks will extend you a loan of X amount of money. You don't have to buy the house that's at the top of your budget. So if the bank extends to you a $400,000 credit, you don't have to try to find a house that costs $400,000. It's okay to try to find a house that's $200,000. You just have to make sure that at the end of the day, the house that you purchased, you can afford. And you don't want to be house poor. You don't. Because taking on a mortgage is one thing, but taking on the upkeep of your home is going to be another thing. So that's the reason why I'm saying right now, if you're in high school and you're getting ready to graduate and go off to college, or if you're gonna decide that you want to go straight into the work world, remember, saving is a very good habit to form. You are going to need the funds. It would be better for you to buy a pair of shoes that's not a name brand, or a pocketbook that's not a brand name. You don't have to start out driving a luxury car right away. Your aim should be that your income far exceeds your expenses. And it's never too early to start saving towards your future. I say this because I know it is not easy to land a dream job right away. It's not easy to afford rent or a mortgage. Nothing comes easy, unless, of course, you are of the small percentage of persons where you have a parent or parents that have set aside X amount of funds for you to start life off with. If you're not a trust fund baby, if you don't have a village around you that's gonna pour money into you so that everything that calls for cash will come easy, my suggestion is that you start putting the funds away. Don't be embarrassed to walk into a bank and deposit $10 a week. No shame. No shame. I'm serious, okay? Don't be embarrassed with driving a used car that you can pay cash on the spot for. Don't be embarrassed about saying, no, I can't go on this girl's trip or this guy's trip. You don't have to be a part of every single trip that somebody's putting on. You don't have to be a part of every event on the weekend. Nothing wrong with finding free events around. The important thing is to start early, setting up for your future. I promise this is advice that will take you a long way. There are so many things that I wished someone had told me beforehand. And some things, like my dad would have taught me, like buy a used bed, not the mattress or the box spring. You could buy those things brand new, but there's nothing wrong with going into a consignment store to find the frame and a bed head. There's nothing wrong with buying used furniture and cleaning them up, doing a little bit of DIY. There is nothing wrong with those kinds of things. You don't have to start out with a 4-bedroom house with 4 bathrooms. If it's you alone, a small house, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom and a half, it's really things that's going to set you up for the future. I would dare to say, going to school in state, I wish I had preached this to even my very own children. And that's the honest truth. There's nothing wrong with probably going to a junior college or a community college first in state and then moving on to finishing up at a 4-year school. There are just so many things that you as a young person can do to set yourself up for a better financial future. It will erase a lot of the pain that people find themselves in. Even a budget. It took me so long to really start budgeting. It took me a long time, and now I will walk around with a pad, and I know I could make Excel spreadsheets, but sometimes the tangible thing in my hand where I can just pick up that book rather than logging on to a computer and checking to see if, all right, did I overspend this weekend? When I told Suzanne that I was going to be a part of her bridal party, can I really afford to be a part of that bridal party? There are a lot of things to think about. Sometimes you have a lot of girlfriends and they start getting married and everybody wants you to be a part of their bridal party. Who's going to foot that bill? Or if they decide that they're having their bachelorette party out of town, out of the country, is that in your budget? Will you have to fit everything, all the expenses on your own? Think about these things. No is a complete sentence. It's okay to say no. They might be upset now, but later on they'll understand because you're going to be the one that does not have to go to them or that person and say, I'm short $100, I'm short $500 for this or that. You will be very ready. There are a lot of YouTube videos out there or a lot of self-help books, and there are a lot of motivational speakers out there that you have to pay to go to their seminars and listen to certain things. These are just some very simple points that I thought I'd share because I recognize that you sometimes find yourself doing things that you are not proud of to gain the money you need to meet a certain lifestyle. If only you had started earlier. A lot of young people work in supermarkets, work retail on the weekends after school, and they'll make X amount of money. And especially a lot of them working in retail, you'll find yourself spending your money in that same retail store that you're working in. Don't be enticed. Don't feel like you have to spend to buy something from that store all the time. Instead of buying a cup of coffee that's $7, $8, go to your local coffee store and purchase a cup of coffee that's $4 or $5 less. Better yet, make yourself a cup of coffee at home. So as I go to my bed now, I pray that these little nuggets of wisdom that I believe will be helpful and can be helpful, that you will just don't turn a blind eye to it. I can guarantee you that later on in life, later on down the road, you'll say, that lady on YouTube was saying the right thing. I hope you have a very, very, very productive week. I pray that thing or that answer that you're waiting on, that report that you're waiting on, that will be positive. I want you to be the best person that you can be. Sow into yourself, sow into your life, good things, and I promise you, you will reap an even better reward. For now, take care of yourself. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel when you get a chance. Share this video and leave a comment. I was glad to stop by to talk to you just for a few minutes. Good night.